Okay, now we're going to learn how to mark a dart. Trust me, it is not scary at all, and this is the method I use. There are several different ways to do this, but this is personally how I do it. So if you are an experienced garment sewer and have a way that you like to do it, please feel free to use your method. But I have switched to this white fabric so you could see it better. I've made a faux front bodice side, so this is the wrong side of your front bodice piece. So turn it so it is wrong side facing up, and get your pattern piece for the front bodice piece. Here's the dart on the fabric, and line up your pattern piece. That's also right side up, so it is lined up with your dart, and check your notch on your underarm seam and make sure everything's lined up nicely. And you're going to need a sewing pin and a writing pin. They're pronounced the same here in the South. This is my favorite one because it's fine, and I have tried like a bazillion different markers, and this one is my favorite. If I can find it on Amazon, I will post a link for it in the description box. But the only downside to this color is it doesn't show up well on certain color fabrics. That's why I'm not using my actual front bodice piece. So keep that in mind. And I don't know if these come in different colors. I will check that out. And what you're going to do is make sure everything, like I said, is lined up nicely. It's just like we snipped into the notches. We're going to snip into the end of these darts. Well, it's actually the beginning of the dart, but you know what I mean. So just take some snips and snip in just a little bit. Make sure it has a split. That one didn't make it. Let me try again. There we go. Okay, so do that, and then make sure everything's still lined up, and then get your sewing pin and stick it in the center of that circle at the end of your dart, and get your sewing pin. Make sure you're using something that isn't permanent, that is for sewing, that disappears in one way or another. Hold on to your sewing pin. Make sure it's going straight up and down, and then peel your pattern piece back without moving your sewing pin. And then mark where the tip of that pin is going into the fabric. Just make a dot. There. Okay, now all we're going to do is get a straight edge. I'm going to use my quilting ruler and turn your fabric so it's comfortable for you, and we're going to line up the center of the mark you just made with the center of your little notch. See where I'm folding that back? That's the center. And then the center of your mark. Take your time. And then you're just going to connect those. The center of the dot you made with the center of the notch you made. Okay, now we're going to do that on the other side of the dart. Find the center of the dot you made with the marking pen. The center of your notch, peel it back and make sure it's in the center, and then connect those two. Let me make this one a little darker so you can see it better. The first one I made. There you go. You just marked your dart. Just remember to do it on the wrong side of your front bodice piece. Now you're going to do the same thing to the other side of your front bodice piece, but you will need to flip your pattern piece upside down to get it to line up properly. So go ahead and mark both darts. Dart sewing time! Yay! You guys will not believe how unintimidating this is. You will need several sewing pins, so get those ready. And what you're going to do is find your dot that you made and pinch it right in the center of the dot. By the way, this is the wrong side of your fabric, facing up. Wrong side of your fabric up. We always mark and sew on the wrong side of the fabric. So find your dot, wrong side of your fabric, and get it where the dot is in the center of what you have pinched. You don't want it too far this way, like that, or too far the other way, but make sure it's in the center as best you can get it. And then take a pin, stick it right through there to hold it. Okay, now we're going to find the notches we made at the beginning of our darts. The split in the fabric, there's one, and there's one. And we're going to fold it so your fabric is right sides together. All you can see is the wrong side of your fabric here. So fold it right sides together and match up those notches, keeping the raw edges even. There we go. See how those are matched up? And put a pin right through there to hold it. Okay, we're going to do that pin all the way down through our dart. And the way you know you have it even or not is you push it through the mark. This is hard, you guys. I have the camera right underneath my chin. Push it through that mark. And then look on the other side and see if it's coming through the other mark. And mine isn't, so I need to adjust a little bit. Try again. Nope. Just have to keep adjusting until you get it. It's no biggie. Just take your time. There we go. The pin's going through the mark on the front and coming out the mark on the back. So when you have it perfect, secure your pin and just keep going all the way down the line like that. Put it through that mark. Check the back. Maybe move it up a little bit. Stick it through, check the back. Nope, a little too much. This is real life sewing, guys. There we go. It's going through the front, coming out the back on the line. And pin it. Let's do one more. Through the line. Woo, got it right first time there, through that line. And secure it. Okay, I think we're good on that. So now I'm going to go sew the dart and I will come back and show you what it looks like. Don't sew yours yet though, because there's a trick, so hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, I've sewn my dart, and how you do that is you start at the wide end up here, and you just take a couple stitches and then back stitch. You don't want your back stitch to be way down here and be outside your or within your seam allowance, so you don't want it to show in your garment. So back stitch here, and what I did was I followed the line that I drew, the blue line, with my stitching. And as you can see, it gets narrower and narrower as it gets down to the dot. And by the time you get down to the dot, you're basically sewing off the fabric. And the key thing you need to do here is do not cut your threads when you're finished. At the end of your dart, leave long thread tails. So just stop sewing and do your needle up, and then just pull your project out from your sewing machine, and that will leave long thread tails, and then you cut them. And we do that because we want to tie these in a knot. If you were to backstitch here, instead of tying a knot, there would be a little bulk there that would probably show on your garment, and we don't want that. So just leave long thread tails and then tie a couple knots. I usually do 3. 1, 2, 3, and then clip those off. Don't get too close to your knot though, because you don't want it coming out, of course. And there we go, a dart. So repeat that on the other side, and then we're going to press, this is still the wrong side of the fabric, press the dart down toward the bottom where your hem will be.